What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake MLB DFS Wise stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and of course I'm from the WiseTake Nation, which you can find on all the social media platforms listed above or directly at WiseTake.com if you're looking to take your DFS game to the next level. We are a premium DFS content provider as well as a DFS community designed to help make you a better DFS player. Check us out at WiseTake.com. Day passes are available. That being said, if you're new to this channel, welcome. You've come to the right place for some free fire DFS content. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications bell on. Don't miss out on any of the free content we put out. Currently covering slates Monday through Friday, meaning we stream Sunday night through Thursday night with our first look. So make sure you don't miss out on any of the action. Pat Bush, my man in the chat, what's going on, bro? Yeah, this was a rough night. Yeah, a rough night for me for sure. Had three teams with significant money behind them, and two of them right out the gate were just the ground teams, so shit the bet on that. I will say this: I talked some shit in the Slack chat about the comments that like the owner made and some of the other things like that. I do think they were trying to play. I live in New Jersey. I'm not that far from New York City, and these storms are just popping up. Like they're just popping up. So we got the big one pass, and now we're just getting this lightning all night. So I could understand. It seems like it's not really gonna totally clear up until about midnight. So starting a game at midnight is just not ideal, right? So I think I get it. And straight up, this was not in the forecasts, in the models. These things were just popping up. Just so it sucks. You have some rough ones. The one team that didn't have DeGrom, I paid down. I played Ohtani, played Gray. For a minute there, started off with negatives on both, and it was looking like DeGrom was the right play for me, or wasn't going to be my lowest scoring pitcher. But hopefully, we'll see if they correct it out. But either way, it's not probably not going to be a great night for this guy. Good thing about MLB and NBA and these everyday sports, though, is we move right on. Football, I love football. I can't wait for football. But when you have a bad week, you're just stuck with that for the whole week. That's rough. Baseball, we get another crack at it today. And we have two slates. We're only covering the night slate as usual. We have two slates to keep us busy. And we're going to start things off with top pitchers on the main slate, as we always do. Corbin Burns is on the DraftKings slate, not on the FanDuel slate. He's playing the Mets in a 7-inning game in Citi Field. Big park boost out there in Citi Field. But he is playing the Mets, who, I mean, as a Met fan, I don't think any pitcher should be really afraid of a team with a 24.4% K rate, at 137 ISO, a 296 WOBA, and a 91 WRC plus against righties. So I'm good with Corbin Burns. I think it makes sense. And with the 7-inning situation, he's got an increased chance of throwing a complete game, I guess. Zach Wheeler is a fine pivot. He's the top pitcher on FanDuel, 31.3. He's having a career year. Playing a Cubs team that we know can strike out with the best of them. 26.8% K rate against righties, just to be clear. And from what I see, the winds have changed. And as of right now, it is 11:01 p.m. Eastern, so the night before. But as of right now, winds are blowing in, projected to be blowing in, which is a huge advantage for the pitchers. So you could argue Wheeler's the SP1 over everyone. I got no problems with that. No issues. I'm going to skip down to Yasiel Kikuchi against Seattle. For Seattle, against the Yankees. Kikuchi's having a really solid season. He's at home in a pitcher-friendly ballpark. The Yankees, only a 168 ISO at 23.6% K rate. WRC plus is creeping up, and they're playing Justice Sheffield as we speak, and they started off with 3 runs against them. So maybe it's trending in the right direction, but Justice Sheffield is not Kikuchi, right? Sheffield has been awful. His numbers are terrible. Kikuchi's the opposite. He's looked really good. His numbers back it up. Alex Wood against St. Louis. St. Louis is better against lefties, at least they were, but they've really fallen against lefties. Only a 22% K rate, to be clear. But 155 ISO, 311 WOBA, 99 WRC plus. At one point, they were like third in the league in WRC plus against lefties. They've dramatically fallen. And this game's in San Francisco, very pitcher-friendly park. I'm cool with Alex Wood. Hyunjin Ryu coming off of a rough start. Him and Kikuchi, the Blue Jays and Mariners went at it in Buffalo. This game's in Baltimore. It's a little bit better, but not really. Right. On top of that, Baltimore is fourth in WRC plus against lefties. I talked about Baltimore on a show with Paulie. I'm pretty sure I wrote Baltimore up in the Slack. Correct me if I'm wrong. In my article, I think they were one of the stacks I wrote up, and they did really well. I mean, I had a Baltimore stack initially, ended up pivoting off of it, but either way, that team would have had DeGrom. So either way, it would have been kind of fucked. But it's one of those days. But I would lean towards Ryu in this one. People's perception may lower because Ryu had a rough game. This is not a good park. Now he's playing Baltimore, who just beat up a lefty. So I get it, but I think Ryu's an interesting SB2 option. Top offenses, Blue Jays in Baltimore against Matt Harvey. That's pretty obvious, right? Harvey has been significantly worse to lefties, but I mean, obviously, Blue Jays against righties, third in WRC plus. 190 ISO, 21.8% K rate. So, yeah, I think they'll be pretty popular. The Giants against Johan Oviedo. Oviedo's numbers are awful. Cardinals bullpen, horrendous. And the Giants are now fourth in WRC plus against righties with a 111, with a 198 ISO. Now, they do have a 25.7% K rate, but Mr. Oviedo is not really his thing, right? 16.5% strikeout rate here. The Padres, we could discuss them. I'm looking for their opponent. Padritos. Patrick Corbin. Padres have not been as good against lefties, but they should, right? Tatis, Myers, they have enough right-handed power. Machado, they should be pretty good against lefties. Corbin is having a down year, right? Or he's regressing, whatever you want to say. But Padres, obviously one of the top offenses in the league. They stood out as well. The last one is kind of interesting. I mean, Robert Stock is going to start one of these doubleheader games. If it's the night game, that means it's on the DraftKings slate. So this guy had like one little quick appearance in the majors this season. He was playing for the Cubs at the time, and the Mets are obviously banged up at pitcher. But he was playing for the Mets at the time. Now, I'm assuming DeGrom's going to start the first game. If DeGrom starts the second game, obviously I like DeGrom, right? Duh. Robert Stock, on the 16th of June, 4 innings, 5 earned runs, 1 home run, only 3 Ks, 6 walks. Yeah, he got beat up a little bit. So, problem is, this game is one of the doubleheaders. So it's only going 7 innings, so you can make that decision if you want to. Lionel, appreciate it, bro. Says good call on Philly and Rangers call today. The article was good for the most part, except for DeGrom. DeGrom was the killer. It was a straight killer. Look at the article. I think a lot of the offenses I wrote up were doing well, but I had DeGrom in the core, and he was the demise of everyone. 45% of the field, though. You probably could cash today with a 0 from DeGrom if you got the bats right, but yeah. But I appreciate it, Lionel. Appreciate the shout out. Things to watch. Sean Manaea coming off of a really rough outing. Paulie D did attack him with the Rangers the other day, and that's how he won all that money. But he was like 60% on that day. I don't think he's going to be very highly owned this going around. Keep an eye out his matchup against the Astros, who are good against lefties, but tough one. Chris Paddock. I'm not a huge Chris Paddock guy, and Washington is not that they've been great offensively, but they have been pretty pesky. Only a 23% K rate, but something to keep an eye on. As far as like something's going to win out there. And then Domingo Herman's the last one. His numbers have not been as good either. Big fly ball numbers, but he's not in Yankee Stadium. He's in Seattle. Going up against Seattle, who has been hot. They flash it every once in a while, but they do have a 26% K rate against righties. And Domingo Herman throws a nasty curveball. So, just a few things to keep an eye on. to look into to try to figure out. Dong watch, of course. I'm going Mike Yastrzemski against Johan Oviedo. Let's go Kevon Biggio for Toronto. I'm going with the lefty, like one of the few lefties they have. They even got rid of Tellez. He was in the minor leagues and they traded him today. And then I guess we can go with a Padre. Let's go Tommy Pham. He had a day off. Let's go Tommy Pham against Patrick Corbin. I like it. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this edition of the MLB Wise stream. Shout out to Lionel again. Says I don't play FanDuel or DK. I play the over under, and I took Harper, Dallas, Vladdy, Segura, Hoskins had a real solid night. Thanks to my guys at WiseTake. I appreciate it, Lionel, man. Glad to hear you did well. I've been gone for a while, but he's back to the WiseTake Nation. Yes, sir. That's going to do it for us, though. Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you subscribe. Notifications bell turned on. Hit me up on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Do the dirty. Drop sevens for myself. The entire WiseTake Nation. As always, good luck.